My name is Dr. Marco Bitetto. I have a substantial track record of success that is totally envious for those that are non-disabled and truly show Herculean achievements. However, in my case, I am blind and have been since early childhood. Nevertheless, I have been able to achieve achievements that rival those of many non-disabled people in the world. I have achieved my PhD credentials at the incredible age of 29. To date, I have over 2,000 patents and copyrights. I am also Professor Emeritus of Electrical Engineering from the Brooklyn Polytechnic University, of which I was teaching graduate engineering courses at the age of 24. I am also on the doctoral committee of doctoral engineering research students in such countries as Iran, Brazil, and Argentina. I am also a doctoral coach and mentor to a researcher that is doing major hardware-based engineering research and design for non-intrusive radar-based medical imaging systems that employ neuromorphic hardware that learns by example in an unsupervised mode and can direct armies of nanobotic surgeons to perform cellular surgery. That is roughly, in very brief, an introduction. The more descriptive is in my bio blurb. If anyone would require further enumeration, I can do that more on a one-on-one basis. I am the inventor and father of one of the modern forms of neuromorphic hardware. This design is IP protected and has been such since 1994. This technology forms the foundation, in part or whole, of all modern hardware-based neural network models that are capable of learning by example in an unsupervised mode using simply feedback loops that are facilitated by feedback sensors. The current research that I am embarked on is in the creation of documented IP libraries that can be used by interested parties in a simple and flexible building block fashion. I have my book agent that is currently encouraging me and supporting me in the creation of an easy-to-use encyclopedia of nervotronic and neuromorphic circuits that is an introduction and description of various building blocks that can be used to custom design neuromorphic hardware that can learn by example and perform specialized embedded functions in real time at the nano-chip level. This encyclopedic ebook will be a cookbook type format, similar to that of the Marcus Encyclopedia of Electronic Circuits. Also, when this tomic reference manual of hardware-based neural network recipes is completed, it will be exclusively available in EPUB form on the Apple iBookstore platform. The current set price for this ebook is $24.95. If anyone is interested, I can post a short bibliography of recent ebooks that have been published dealing with more definitive theoretical and application-oriented information on neuromorphic hardware. Let me also show you a discrete transistor version of what the first version of the Nervotron actually looked like. Hardware-based neuromorphic systems, and the Nervotron is no exception to this fact, are nothing more than multi-state switches that can either operate in a purely digital fashion, purely analog fashion, or hybrid digital and analog fashion together. The Nervotron, however, is the only modern neuromorphic hardware design that can work in both a digital and analog mode, and also is able to be directly integrated into a hybrid nano-chip design that is both digital and analog integrated together on the same chip and functioning in conjunction to each other. Of the research that I am documenting and will be presenting, both industry standard SPICE simulations of all the neuromorphic hardware circuits that I design and present in my encyclopedic cookbook of neuromorphic hardware-based technology, will also include some examples of hardwired, discrete component-based designs that demonstrate functionality of some simple nervotronic and neuromorphic hardware systems that are discussed in this encyclopedic cookbook ebook document that is designed purely for design assistance and reference. Furthermore, all properly designed nervotronic and neuromorphic hardware circuits should be able to implement all past and current analog and digital signal and logic processing circuits and systems with no difficulty. Consequently, one need not worry about not precisely understanding the molecular basis of the functionality of biological brains, and in particular the human brain, since one can quickly and easily instantiate such hardware designed in neuromorphic circuits as computational simulations that can function concurrently in real time. Furthermore, using nothing more than century-old telephonic landline technology, one should easily be able to design robust switching systems that can easily remember circuit patterns for prolonged periods of time and be able to integrate both long-term memory and short-term memory capabilities in hardware-based neuromorphic circuits that are parts of much larger, much highly integrated neuromorphic circuits on a nanochip. Presently, the state-of-the-art in nanochip fabrication not only allows for surface feature construction at the 5 nanometer scale, it additionally allows monolithic creation of multi-layered electronic circuits on a nanochip. Such technology is often referred to as monolithic fabrication technology. I see in the future of cybernetics a cybernization of humanity, whereby humans as we currently know them will become extinct, and the new emergent forms of humanity will be hybrids of artificially intelligent robots and biological humans integrated together and able to control all forms of machines that are artificially intelligent and robotic simply by wireless thought transmission using microwave technology that is incorporated into biocompatible neuromorphic circuit translation systems that are integrated directly into the human brain.
Can we model the impact of glial cells, synaptical memory, intercellular communication via chemical processes and EM signal waves?
That is very possible if a mathematical model exists, because like analog and digital circuits, mathematical modeling can easily be done through the assemblage and configuration and proper form of neuromorphic hardware circuits. Have I answered your question to the best of your understanding?
Thank you. I thought so myself.
You're very welcome. There's also a very, very helpful artificial intelligence tool that can assist those interested in developing neuromorphic hardware-based systems that are capable of brain-like processing. This AI package is produced by a company called Wolfram Research and is called Mathematica. This is a very powerful AI tool that will actually turn directly input mathematical equations using mathematical symbolisms into computer-generated and compilable computer language code. Would anyone like more specific information on the general pricing and hardware requirements to run this very powerful AI-based mathematical simulation tool?
Is it described at the Wolfram website?
Roughly, in part, yes. They don't generally include macros for Mathematica that perform neuromorphic simulation. Generally, they have that available through their consultants network.
Yes, I would be interested in the pricing and more specifics of the neuromorphic simulation in Wolfram.
Okay. Generally, the pricing, what they call a grid version of the professional full implementation environment of Mathematica, starts at $3,600 per year for a user license and user support. This grid version requires the use of at least a Mac Pro multi-core system with at least 8 cores of processing power, over 16 gigabytes of RAM, and at least 8 terabytes of hard drive space. However, in about a year's time, Apple will be introducing a 22-core version that has 8 terabytes of RAM and more than 48 terabytes of hard drive space. All grid versions look for the latest version of the Mac OS operating system to run.
How much neural connections do one need to have a sophisticated interaction with a human brain, for example, for thought-to-speech, dream-to-video?
Okay. This is a very interesting question, and it's $1 million question. If anyone can precisely, empirically define the answer to this question, they will definitely be ready for a Nobel Prize. The general closest estimates are that each biological neuron in the human brain can connect with as many as 80,000 other biological neurons in the human brain. This will subsequently produce a very complex system very quickly.
Any thoughts on the recent efforts of connecting the brain to the cloud by new startups?
That would probably be unadvisable, since by connecting it to such a vulnerable window, malicious and accidental transient signals can actually have detrimental effects on the brains of their users. So for that matter, before you do such, you need to institute protective circuits to prevent such from happening. And also, as a result, in such Western countries as America, which is very litigious, it will be impossible to get insurance to underwrite the tremendous liabilities that are potentially waiting to explode. As a result, it is highly unlikely that will ever occur.
Would it be better to start with connection to body periphery neurons, for example, neurons in the fingers or in the spiral?
That is something that more information would have to be acquired through lower animal experimentation to see if that is actually the best way to do any type of machine to nervous system interface. However, it is not essential, since the late 1940s, early 1950s, it has been routinely and scientifically demonstrated that interfacing with the brain, at least in the ability to receive signals very easily, can be done simply by using radio receiver technology integrated into electronic amplification systems. Because all neural activity actually generates low energy radio waves, which with some difficulty are able to traverse the barrier of the skull.
It's 17 hours.
Now, if such devices are implanted directly into or near the human brain, all that need be done is to implement antennas that are near the external membranes of neurons, and thereby actively pick up easily the radio bursts that are a result of the charge density waves that transverse the length of the neurons that are firing. Now, to implement a direct intervention stimulation of neurons on an individual neuron basis is a bit more difficulty and has not yet been perfected. But it has been experimentally determined in the 1950s and 60s that you can actually stimulate neurons using electromagnetic waves of the radio frequency spectrum. And this has indeed been done in Eastern Europe, and if I remember correctly, in some parts of the New England states of America, Boston in particular, that radio frequency plucking of the human auditory nerve system and auditory nerve is very possible scientifically. Okay, I hope I have been of help to everyone that has been in attendance. I always enjoy communicating and enlightening those who I communicate with. And such discussions actually are a two-way learning experience. Thank you also.